Hello, friends. On February the 12th, something bizarre happened in Washington, D.C. The US President Joe Biden signed an executive order allowing approximately half of the $7 billion in frozen assets from Afghanistan's central bank to be reserved for victims of the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks in Washington and New York. The remaining assets, that is about $3.5 billion, will be set aside in a trust fund and released for humanitarian assistance work in Afghanistan. This executive order by President Joe Biden has triggered a wave of nasty negative reactions, not only from the Afghan Taliban in Kabul, but also by American analysts themselves, a number of them who see this as illegal, unfair to a country which is reeling from economic crisis. Now, the Taliban spokesperson, Mohammad Naeem, reacted from his Doha abode in the following way. Stealing the Afghan people's money that was frozen by the United States is the lowest a country could stoop to, morally and humanly. Defeat and victory, he said, are part of human history. But the greatest and scandalous defeat for a country or its people is when they suffer militarily and militarily as well. This is what Mohammad Naeem, the Taliban spokesperson sitting in Doha, said. But he was not alone in condemning President Biden's action. There are many others who joined the chorus of reaction. The special UN envoy for Afghanistan, Raina Amiri, took to the Twitter and said very briefly, "Today was a bad day for Afghans." But Taliban were not alone in reacting furiously to what President Biden has ordered. Among them are many American analysts and intellectuals, for instance, Michael Kugelman. This is what he had to say. The 9/11 victims' families absolutely deserve assistance and justice. But for the US government to do so by drawing on Afghan central bank assets appears highly bizarre, if not illegal. Adam Weinstein, another South Asia Afghanistan commentator, a former Marine who also served in Afghanistan, was even more angry. This is what he had to offer. Using a country's foreign reserves to compensate 9/11 victims may make sense in the windowless confines of a courtroom, but defies basic logic. To the world, this looks nothing short of theft, not compromise or sound legal reasoning. The people of Afghanistan are as far removed from the hijackers of 9/11 as anyone else. This is what Adam Weinstein had to say, and is he suggesting or is he accusing the sole superpower of stealing the poorest nation's assets? And this is an invariable reaction among many, not only in Afghanistan or elsewhere, just because Afghanistan is reeling from a crippling economic and financial crisis. Adam Weinstein had something else also to offer on the same subject. He said, in a Twitter thread, Afghanistan's reserves belong to the people of Afghanistan, not the Taliban. By implying it belongs to the Taliban and can be used to pay off a judgment against them, we have undermined the very rule of law we claim to be instilling for 20 years in Afghanistan. The Al Jazeera commentator and anchor Mehdi Hassan did not want to be left alone in reaction to President Joe Biden's executive order. He said, "I cannot describe for you in words how outrageous this is. Afghans are starving. This is all their money." And there was not a single Afghan aboard any of those 4 aircraft on 9/11. 15 Saudis plus Egyptian, Emirati, Lebanese nationals. Get the money from those countries if you must. So this was quite a characterization of the executive order by President Biden. Mehdi Hassan is a very vocal critic of anything that happens against law, against the moral principles as they are practiced, and more so as they are preached by the United States and its allies when it comes to many other countries like China, like Pakistan, Iran, Saudi Arabia. No, not about Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is a strategic partner. So I think the administration would reserve those words for countries that are in disagreement with it over certain issues. Dear friends, this is a short synopsis of the reaction triggered by President Joe Biden's executive order on splitting the money that belongs to Afghans. And this basically blows away all the principles, all the morals that the US and its allies preach on other countries, whether it's Pakistan, whether it's China, and its allies where it has been investing money. So this basically also means precipitating the humanitarian as well as the economic crisis that currently faces the Afghan Taliban regime. They are a very disciplinarian, Sharia-based country. We also in Pakistan don't accept with a number of restrictions they have placed on the women, their education, their work, and also their strict handling of the media. But this does not mean depriving a nation of its money that belongs to the people of Afghanistan, not to the group that currently is ruling Afghanistan. So this is a bizarre move that the US administration has taken, and this probably will also bring further strain between the United States and the Taliban on the one hand, and also adversely impact all the efforts, not only by regional countries, neighboring countries, but also by several European countries, including Switzerland, Oslo, and Germany, to help the Taliban regime ride out of the economic crisis and help the people, particularly the education sector personnel, to draw their salaries in time so that education can get back on track.